Hey, 2020 has been a mess of a year for me, and probably a lot of others. But I guess I can't say it's all been bad, because Eric Baroni just released the latest 1.5 update for Stardew Valley for the PC. Sorry, mobile and console players, I know you'll have to wait a little while longer, but it's coming, and you will get the update. In the meantime, I want to focus on some of the smaller aspects that this update brings. I know everyone will be excited to play the new map and see new characters or items or quests, but I think there's something that needs to be said for the quality of life changes that come with every update. You see, these changes are often smaller and go unnoticed. My favorite example of this is being able to put torches on fences. We've actually been able to do that for a very long time now, but I guess that little game mechanic just kind of slipped through the cracks. So today, it's not about the new endgame content, it's not about any of the spoilers. I just want to provide you with a comprehensive list of the quality of life changes that have dropped with the 1.5 update. I appreciate the finer details, and Concerned Ape is a master at polishing game mechanics, both big and small. I hope learning about these things will improve your Stardew Valley experience, and there's not much else to say, so let's knock this list out real quick once. First things first, one of the things that I am most excited about is, it's so simple. It's the fact that you can move your bed. So, not only your own bed, I can move it wherever I want. Let's say I want to get, a jump on the day and get out the door earlier, right? I can put it right in front of the front door. But more importantly, I can get rid of these beds. You see, I don't often play with children in my playthroughs. Something that I really like is the ability to sit. Just, on anything. Being able to sit on a chair, just interact with the environment. And finally, it's here. We can we can sit on our furniture. And not only that, but we can also take this furniture and we can put it outside. So if I want to have this... I lied. I can't? Why can't I? So speaking of furniture, it's not all furniture, but we do have the option now to put some furniture outside. And yes, you can also sit on it. This one probably doesn't seem like much, but you can now talk to NPCs while you're mounted on your horse. It's pretty convenient, so you don't have to hop off. I really like the small quality of life changes, and this one's a good one. Basically, you can no longer plant fruit trees on tiles they won't be able to grow on. So an example of this is if I try and place this cherry sapling here, I get a notification that it's too close to another tree. In other news, we need to talk about the improved game menus and HUD. First up, there's the social tab. It now shows whether you talk to an NPC today or not. Also, this has been in the game since before 1.5. I didn't know it, but if you click on somebody, you'll be able to see the gifts that you've given them and whether they liked them, loved them, etc. Moving over to the cooking tab. The cooking tab now shows the recipes for an item when you hover over it. Additionally, the cooking tab now fades icons for recipes you know but haven't made yet. So it looks like there's some new recipes for 1.5 that I haven't even made yet, even though I had made all other recipes prior. Another bonus is that it now shows you how many times you've cooked each recipe. Back to the main inventory screen, the inventory menu's organize button now combines partial stack items, like these ancient fruit jellies that I have. That's pretty neat, so buff icons now subtly pulse when they're close to expiring. Previously, I would place pathing tiles below all of my sprinklers, that way when I tried to hoe the dirt around them, they wouldn't get dug up. But this isn't necessary anymore, because you can actually dig, and the sprinkler won't come up, regardless of whether there's a pathing tile below it or not. A nice change that I really appreciate on the shipment screen is that it now shows the unit price of shipped items instead of displaying the shipped quantity twice. So, I don't have any slimes right now, but I think it's important to mention that the sprinklers can now water slime hutch troughs. If you've played as much Journey of the Prairie King as I have, you'll appreciate this next one. Basically, progress can now be saved and resumed, so it can be completed in multiple sessions. We also have some interesting improved game options that we need to talk about. The first is that there's now an option to choose between multiple fish bite chime sounds. There's also the option to mute animal sounds if you want to. Maybe, I don't know, the pigs are annoying to you? This is also a great quality of life improvement. We already had the zoom level, but you can now zoom the UI scale independently. Moving on in my list of random quality of life improvements, I was told that there is also now a random option for the jukebox. Nice. And you know what? This one actually feels like a really nice update too. Apparently, removing a crystallarium that isn't ready for harvest will now drop the gem that was placed in it. No more losing your diamonds. Here's one that may just break my soft lock picking of Stardew, a video that I did recently where I tried to lock myself in the farmhouse. Apparently, you can now push chests containing items by holding the interact button on them with no tool equipped. Wow, that's pretty cool. There's also some updates to the inventory sorting. It no longer changes your tool order when you organize. It also sorts by quality too, and it now sorts names in alphabetical instead of reverse alphabetical order, if you noticed in the first place. A nice addition to the game is the Lost and Found box that's at Mayor Lewis's house. This can be used to retrieve items donated to failed special orders, lost quest items and tools, items from offline players, hats from children that have been turned into doves, and items left behind in the Stardew Valley Fair Grange display. So that's kind of neat. The quest log now shows an arrow when you have a pending completed quest. Another small improvement is that the inventory menu for a chest now shows the community center button. So if I, click over something that is needed for the community center, that little button will start pulsating, like this sardine over here. And finally, I don't have an example to show you now, but you can now donate items of different qualities for the same community bundle ingredient. So that's really helpful when you have, maybe a couple regular quality, a couple silver quality, and one gold quality of something. Previously, you would need all of the same quality in order to complete a certain community center bundle. Finally, I know everybody's excited about the new beach farm, but I think we should also talk about the new settings that are now available to us. You see, when you create a new character, we have some new options. Specifically, in the advanced game options, we have a new option for community center bundles. It can be normal or remixed, and basically this kind of spices things up. It gives you kind of a random assortment of bundles to achieve. Additionally, we have this option that is guarantee year 1 completable. This ensures that the traveling merchant sells a red cabbage seed sometime during the first year. If you aren't familiar with this, the red cabbage is one of the few things in the community center bundles that make it very difficult to complete the community center in year 1. Yes, if you're more advanced, you can eventually get red cabbage seeds from somewhere like treasure chests in the Skull Cavern, but typically, Pierre doesn't start to sell red cabbage seeds until year 2. That means that you just need to hope that the traveling merchant will have a red cabbage seed before the end of the first year. So yeah, I really like this as an addition. Moving on, we also have an option for mine rewards. What this does is it modifies the rewards that appear in the mines. You can have it on normal or remixed. I haven't tested this out, so I don't know exactly what that means. but I'm excited to see what it looks like. We now also have a checkbox option for spawning monsters on the farm. And this is probably just like the wilderness farm where monsters begin to spawn at night. You can also visit a statue in the witch's hut that allows you to spawn monsters on any given farm. So I think this is a nice option to see. If you're looking for a more hardcore version of the game, it looks like we now have a profit margin, which is very interesting. What we can set is a multiplier applied to the prices of items sold. So we have an option for normal, 75%, 50%, or if you really want to challenge, 25%. I like that there's also this multiplayer options where you can have starting cabins 1, 2, or 3 already on your farm. And additionally, it looks like there's a cabin layout where it can be either nearby or separate. And that tells you whether the cabins are placed closer or further away from one another. Finally, in the other options, we have a random seed. This says the seed is used to randomize the game world. If you've watched any of my videos that go into some of the deeper mechanics, you'll know that this seed actually determines a lot of things. And, this could be used for speedrunning. It could be used for min-maxing. I'm really interested in exploring this. That about wraps up my list of quality of life changes for the 1.5 update. I'm sure I missed a thing or two, so if you see something new, please let me know. Additionally, I didn't want to touch on any major spoilers, and I'll be sure to let you guys know if anything comes up in future videos that could spoil a secret or, some sort of new endgame content. Finally, I really appreciate all the support you guys have given me on my videos. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm just so happy that the 1.5 update is finally out. I'm gonna head back to the world of Stardew, so I'll catch up with you in the next one. Like the video, consider subscribing, and thanks for watching.